Good day, welcome to today on Princess Anu TV. Hope you all are doing fine and great and happy and having a splendid time. So today I want to talk about my experience flying international for the first time. Yeah, I love to vlog my experiences, talk about my experiences. Actually, that's what this whole channel is about. That's what PrincessAnu is about. You know, sharing my knowledge with you and everything I'm passing through concerning my pilot career phase and all, from training, for those that have been following me from training till now. And I love to talk about it, especially when it's still fresh, because we just came back some few hours ago, and I'm like, okay, let me talk about this now that everything is still fresh, all the things I can remember, so that you're going to enjoy the whole vibes. So, in case you're new to this channel and you don't know me, my name is PrincessAnu, and I am a commercial pilot license holder with multi-engine and instrument. I also have interpreting, and I've been doing some observation flights and some right seat flights. So I went international first. I was able to fly to Chad and to Abu Dhabi, and I'm going to tell you it's totally not completely different, but it has some major differences when you're flying locally. Yeah, locally. When I mean locally, like if you're doing Lagos, Abuja, and all that, like I say, major differences based on documents, and there are some slight differences based on like controls, because it's still the same controls, it's still the same takeoff and landing, and you know, all that. So where do I start? Okay, I have the whole thing. So let me start from on ground. Okay, some documents you need that's different from normal stuff. Then do pilots require visa or not? So guys, based on documents, I'm going to say that it's still the normal document. Like, you know, there are documents you must carry on board an aircraft, which is the normal flight school stuff they taught us, ROIT. If you know the full meaning of ROIT, I know I've talked about it on this channel before, leave a comment and let me know the full meaning of ROIT. Then what pilots use, what we use, we don't use. There are most countries you don't need a visa to go there. You actually need what is called GENDEC. A GENDEC is the general declaration, like you declaring it's going to have your names, it's going to have your international passport. I think most of the time it has your date of birth and your nationality, on the GENDEC. So that's what you're going to be using. You're not going to be using visa. That's most countries anyways. I know that there are just a few that you need visa. I think for the US you're going to be needing visa, but for others I don't think you need a visa. So you're going to be needing GENDEC. Then obviously you're going to be needing your flight plan, what other documents, like flight plan, the routing. And yes guys, this routing is in fact is the major highlight of today, and which for international flights, okay, I know that when I do local, most of the time, like even both observations and sometimes like right seats, I see that sometimes most of the air traffic controllers, they can clear you fly. Let's say you're going to Abuja, they can clear you to a particular waypoint, then they can give you direct maybe to Sokoto, or direct to, let's say you're going to Maiduguri, maybe they give you like 2 waypoints, then they say fly direct to Sokoto or fly direct to whatever. But in this international flight, you have to go waypoint to waypoint to waypoint. I'm going to just briefly show you what like waypoints. You see points on the chart. You have to go fly those waypoints, and they keep telling you to change frequencies. Like on this waypoint, call so frequency. On this waypoint, call this frequency, and like reports. Though it might not be 2 close waypoints, it might be 1 waypoint that you have to pass like 4 more waypoints. Then they say call so frequency. So the frequency is not constant, because I noticed like if it's local flights, maybe going Lagos, Abuja or something, it's going to be easy for me to put like I'm anticipating that I'm going to call probably Kano East or Kano West. But in this case, you can't really anticipate that they are going to give you so frequency. Yes, these frequencies are there on the approach chart, on the list, they are there, but you don't know the exact one they are going to give you at so waypoint. So you just have to wait for them. So when you call, let's say you're calling which one am I going to use that is very common? Okay, let's say you're calling Jeddah. So you'd be like, Jeddah control, this is, I'm going to use my call sign 5 November Alpha Delta Echo, or like I always use PrincessAnuTv call sign 5 November Papa Alpha Tango. So when you put 5 November Papa Alpha Tango, they're going to tell you report, let's create a waypoint. Let me use Tomb. Yeah, Tomb. So I'm going to say report Tomb, passing Tomb or overhead Tomb, call 123.1. And when you get to Tomb, you have to call 123.1. Don't get confused. Tomb, I'm just using Tomb as a waypoint. This is my hand. It might actually be an actual waypoint on maybe any route, but it's not an actual waypoint. I'm just trying to create a waypoint so that you understand what I'm trying to say. And you have to keep reporting. You have to follow. They're not going to give you direct this or direct to. And I can really understand why, because during the period of flying, like you're going to practically, especially night, if it's getting to evening time, you're going to see an aircraft that is 5,000 feet ahead of you. You're going to see the lights. It's as if, it's going to obviously appear in your TCAS and you're going to see the whole box and all. But it's going to look like this aircraft is very close to you. So they are doing very good separation. And obviously, if you're flying in RVSM airspace, in case you know what RVSM is, let me know also in the comment section. So these are 2 assignments. What is RIT? What is RVSM? If you know, type in the comment section. And these things are like, you have to be very much situationally aware. You have to be making calls every now and then, though like from this waypoint to this waypoint can be like maybe 200 nautical miles. You might not have to maybe call. Maybe the next waypoint that they would ask you to call might be another like 200, because sometimes these international routes are like 2,000 and something nautical miles. I'm telling you, they're so long, like 5 hours flight, 6 hours flight, and you have to prepare, you have to plan. Another thing that it's going to be like a very major concern is the fuel. Okay, I'm going from this destination to this destination. What is my fuel like? Is this fuel going to really carry me? And at every point you're just like checking, okay, how many liters are we going to have remaining? Another thing too is the significance of this headwind and tailwind is really going to show in long haul flights, like obviously like international flights I'm telling you about, like 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours flight. The effect of a headwind or a tailwind, it's going to be very like you actually see it, that this tailwind is pushing us, like it's helping us buy time, and the headwind is making us to lose a lot of time. Like a place you're supposed to get in 6 hours, you might actually get there in 6 hours 30 minutes or 6 hours 40 minutes. Imagine the fuel you're going to spend extra. But if it's a short flight, like maybe if it's Lagos, Kano, which is maybe like averaging 1 hour. Most of the flights here in Nigeria are just averaging 1 hour, 1 hour 50 minutes. If it's going to be that kind of flight, 1 hour, 1 hour 50 minutes, or 1 hour 30 minutes max, the effect of the tailwind and headwind might not be that much obvious. But imagine going for a 7-hour flight or a 6-hour flight. The effect of the tailwind and headwind will really show. Then another thing I got to know, like in Nigeria, we don't have this ground clearance delivery, like several frequencies. But in most of these other countries, like you have to call approach. After calling approach, they'll transfer you to tower. When they've cleared you, like you're on final, you want to land, they'll transfer you to tower. After tower, tower will transfer you to ground. When you're on ground, you park, you call your company and all that. Then when you want to go, you have to call clearance delivery, which is separate. Then yes, as I'm remembering, another thing is most of the time the ATIS for the departure is different from the ATIS for the arrival. Like airport terminal information, like you need to be able to hear like this is the wind, this is the weather, all the stuff like for the different airports. So the one for departure, what I noticed, like for Abu Dhabi, the 80s for the departure and the 80s for the arrival is different. So you have to listen to them. If you want to take off, you have to listen to a different 80s if you want to. And I didn't really notice that. It was the captain that actually showed me, like, okay, can you see this? This is the 80s. And I'm like, okay. And I listened to the other one because I knew the other frequency when we landed, but I was thinking that was the same frequency we were going to use when we were going. So these are some things that when I look at it, I'm like, I really learned a whole lot. For me, this period is like a very big learning process. I'm giving it my best. Like, I really want to learn. I really want to gain all the knowledge I can gain. But I know that aviation is very, very dynamic. Like, you can obviously not finish learning everything. You have to learn every day. You learn something new. And I also see it around me. Even people that have been flying for years, every day they still have one or two things. Even if it's as tiny or as minute as possible, they still have something to learn. So aviation is a continuous learning curve. And overall, I'm going to say, given the opportunity to be the pilot flying, I was so happy. Like, that's actually my first time, having to not just like I'm going on an international flight. Like, I'm like, oh, really? If you know me, you know that I'm always like, ha. And, I was really happy deep down within me, and I was able to take off, do the radio calls, and just organize myself. I believe like I still have a lot. In fact, what I've learned and compared to what I still have to learn, they are very, very far miles apart. But I'm really grateful to God. I'm really grateful for the people that are giving me this opportunity, because obviously opportunities don't just jump out from anywhere. There are people that are always there, like helping you out, saying, and let me give a special shout out to them. Yos! Like, seriously, like, they're always on my mouth, like, okay, Blessing, what will you do? How will you do this and that? And they are continuously teaching me, and like, I'm so ready to learn, because this aviation, you just keep learning and you keep going, and I'll keep sharing my experiences with you, because I know that it's going to encourage you. You're going to learn one or two things from it, and one day you too, you're going to be sharing your own experience with me, because anytime I receive emails and all that, people are like telling me like, oh, PrincessAnu, I'm now doing this, I'm now here. Like, I am so happy, because it's like we are all in the journey together. So overall, it's the first international flying experience. It was. And another thing I noticed, like, coming back, depending if you're not well rested, because my body timing had changed and all, and like, I needed to be well rested. I was, at a point, you kind of start feeling tired, you want to sleep and all that. I'm not going to see if I slept or not. Because yeah, this is very, very official stuff. So it was actually a very wonderful experience. I hope to do more and more and more international flights. I need to be specific. International flights. Do local flights is a constant, because you're flying in your country, and all obviously you do local flights, but I think I also enjoy the international flights, not only because of like all those things, but because you get to see new places, you get to talk to new controllers, you get to see other people, you get to listen to other people, Egypt, Air, Saudi, you get to listen to Qatari, a lot of people on the frequencies, and you're like, okay. And there are some things that are kind of different too in the communications. They tell you reports. You see, some of those waypoints, you have to like get very, very familiar with those waypoints, because they'll tell you report it at a particular place, and what you've not registered in your memory, like it will not make sense. Maybe they say report Ponok, or let's just use the word Ponok. Ponok is a waypoint. They say report Ponok, and you've never heard Ponok, and the guy says report Ponok, and you're like, okay, did he say report Ponok? You have to check your waypoints. Go to the FMS and like check your waypoint to see, okay, what is this guy saying? Sometimes they will even have to spell it. Papa Oscar November Kilo Oscar Sierra. They will spell it for you, and they say this that. Check it, then you check it on your waypoint, and you say we'll report blah blah so time blah blah and all that. So I really had a very, very lovely experience. I hope to do more of this, and till we catch you Till we see next time on the same channel. Keep watching Princess Anu TV. Chillax. You're here to enjoy. If you've not subscribed, I wonder what you're waiting for. You came across channel again. Subscribe. So guys,